Hey there, Griff Hamlin here. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about how to do kind of a cool, jazzy octave thing in the style of, Wes Montgomery is probably the most famous jazz guy for doing this. Kenny Burrell had a tune called Chitlins, Carne that was also redone by Stevie Ray Vaughan. So we're going to do something very much in that vein today. So the first thing we got to talk about is a little bit of how to do octaves. And then I'm going to show you a little bit about where the melody comes from. It is a basic blues. Now Stevie Ray Vaughan was tuned down a half step, so he played it in C, but it would sound like B because of the tuning. I'm going to play it in B, so that if you were to play it along with the record, this would be pretty close. And you make adjustments as your ear tells you. So the first thing about this, there's a couple of things that we're going to do that are going to be a little bit different. And the first is that I'm not going to play with a pick. Wes Montgomery never played with the pick. This is kind of a softer sound, and so in order to get that soft sound, it can be helpful to do it just with a sort of a thumb rake without a pick. So I have no pick. Look, ma, no pick. Okay, now the next part of this is how to play these octaves. So what I'm going to do, an octave is most easily found by taking a note and going up 2 strings and 2 frets. So if I'm on the 7th fret, 6th string, well, 2 strings away is the 4th string, and 2 frets away is the 9th fret. So there you go. And I can do this anywhere, and they're the same note. If I move up to the 5th string, no problem. I have the 5th string, 7th fret, and the 3rd string, 9th fret. If I move up to the 4th string, things change a little bit, because you'll notice that certainly doesn't sound like an octave. So what happens is the B string becomes involved. We're now crossing the B string. Again, anytime we cross the B string, got to add a fret. So now it's 2 strings and 3 frets because of the B string cross. If I move up to my 3rd string and I want to do an octave, again, it's 2 strings and 3 frets. Okay? Now, we're going to be moving around a bit. So here's what I would suggest that you do. Let's take, and this is really where this melody comes from, so I really want to show you this. Now what's important is that I'm going to just kind of brush with my right hand, okay? Notice that you don't hear this. You don't hear a whole bunch of extra strings ringing out. Even though I'm hitting every single string, if I go slowly, you can hear all the clunks. Okay, those are where my first finger is laying across all those strings. Okay, I'm not barring, I'm just muting them out, so I'm lightly touching them. It's actually pretty easy to do because you kind of have to reach over there anyway, so just don't use the tip. Just go ahead and lay it flat. Okay? Now, what I would suggest you do is to, from this point, play a pentatonic scale or blues scale in this fashion. So here's what I'm going to do. So we're going to play a B minor blues scale using octaves. So I'm going to play the B here at the 7th fret of the 6th string, and I've got my octave above it with my pinky. That's at the 4th string, 9th fret. Next I'm going to go to the next note, which, yes, could be here, but I'm going to go ahead and change strings and play it at the 5th fret of the 5th string, which means my octave is the 7th fret of the 3rd string. The next note, 7th fret, 5th string, which is going to be the 9th fret of the 3rd. Let's go up 1 to the blue note, 1 more. So I have, all right. Next note, now here I'm crossing the B string. The note itself is the 4th string, 7th fret. The octave above it, 2 strings and 3 frets. So 2nd string, 10th fret. And then we ended up at the 9th fret, 4th string, the accompanying note at the 12th fret, 2nd string. and that's what I suggest that you do. And you could totally do a solo that way. You could put on a little jam track or something. This tune is basically a B minor blues. So it's B minor, E minor, B minor, and then I think it's a flat 6 turnaround, like The Thrill Is Gone. So I think it's a G major to an F sharp to a B minor. I don't really know off the top of my head. There's a lot of these songs that are all very similar, so I'm not 100% sure what the turnaround is on the actual recording, but and I know there's oh yeah, that's a Steve Vai song, basically. So this is used all over the place. So let's take a look now at what would really be more this Chitlins con Carne melody. So I'll call out the note that I'm playing with my first finger. The pinky note's just going to kind of follow along. So we have 7th fret on the 6th string, 5th fret on the 5th string, 7th fret on the 5th string, 9th fret on the 5th string, back to the 5th fret. Now notice that's just the first 4 notes of the pentatonic minor scale. Nothing fancy at all. And then we go up again. But we go back to the beginning. And that's it. I mean, it's really, really easy. It's a basic pentatonic melody that gets repeated. Now the changes to this tune are a B minor blues. B minor, E minor, turnaround's probably G to F sharp. Maybe it's major, maybe it's minor. I don't remember exactly. There's a lot of tunes that are very, very similar like this. So I forget what the exact turnaround is, but the melody is what's important. The rest of it's just a B minor blues. You could probably find a jam track for that just about anywhere. And it basically just repeats it. On the turnaround, he goes from and goes up to that 4th string, 7th fret. So it's got to get the pinky up there. We need to add the little bit of extra on the octave. There's a little kind of a grace note into the 7th fret thing. But what I hope you see is that it's nothing more than choosing a few notes out of the pentatonic scale. So don't if you're trying to learn this by ear, it should be really pretty easy because the melody comes right out of the pentatonic minor scale. So all you have to do is add the octaves and you'll have it. So I hope that you'll just kind of put the CD on or put the MP3 of this on and try to figure it out by ear. It should not be that difficult if you already know that scale. If you don't already know the scale, practice playing the minor pentatonic scale there a few times and you'll have it down. You'll hear all the notes will come out of it pretty easily. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll talk to you real soon.